What? It didn't play the thing. Why didn't it play the thing? Well, we're
I'll see.
live, but I don't know why it didn't play.
I'll
Oh
see.
well, we'll just put in the thing.
What? Yep. Here now.
All right, welcome everybody. It is Wednesday, 7
Hello.
o'clock. Time for Sci-Fi Distilled. Welcome back, Mary Beth, and welcome back, Kent, who hasn't been here in a while.
Kent, long time
Yes.
no see.
Long time no see. I'm glad to be on the right side of the dirt.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! How you
Yeah,
doing? though, really, seriously.
Quadruple bypass, 1 out of 5 stars, would not recommend.
I imagine
All right.
not. I imagine, but I'm really, I have to say, I'm impressed. I didn't think you'd be up and about and working so quickly.
You know, I thought about that a lot, and it was a surprise that I needed it. First off, quick story. Went to get a regular checkup from my GP because my optic surgeon guy said I need to get that before he can do the next procedure. I said, okay, no problem. So I go see my GP. She puts me on an EKG, and she's looking at the machine, and she looks at me, and she looks at the machine and goes, "This says you already had a heart attack." And I went, "No, I haven't. Never had anything you would consider a classic symptom of anything." And she goes, "Well, sometimes the machine gives a false positive. Why don't we send you to a cardiologist to make sure?" So about the time of the last Shatner event, I go see a cardiologist. They do a nuclear stress test and some other stuff, and they come back. Where'd I go? There I am. Then they tell me that I've got 3 big blockages and stents aren't going to work, so I got to go get surgery. And I'm like, well, okay. We go see the surgeon. She puts me at ease, puts my wife at ease, explains things, although the way she said it was kind of comical. She says, I ran a risk analysis and you have a 0.04% chance of dying on the table.
Well, that's pretty good odds.
Well, exactly. But I would have said it as you have a 99.96% chance of surviving versus dying on the table. But okay. So had the surgery December 15th. They had me walking December 16th. I was out of the hospital a week later, sent me home. They were going to do cardiac therapy, but they said I'm ahead of the spot that cardiac therapy would have helped me. My heart is super healthy. The only thing that was wrong was the plumbing. Got a hell of a scar, runs from here to about here. My strength's coming back. I'm getting stronger every day. I'm back to work. Can't lift anything officially yet, but like I said, I'm back to work and doing it. So, sneezing is an adventure, considering my sternum still has pins in it and stuff. But other than that, I'm glad to be alive. Word to everyone: go see your doctor on a regular basis, and if they suspect something, get it checked out. I never would have suspected that I had blockages like I did. And if it hadn't been for my GP insisting, they call it a widowmaker, the one that was primarily blocked, it would have turned me off like a light switch. There's just nothing to come back. You could be standing in an ER and if it goes, you're done. So I'm thankful to all the gods that I listened to her, and we followed the proper procedures, and it's a miracle that I'm here. But I'm back at it and having a ball. That's why I wanted to do Distilled again, is get back in the saddle, as they say.
Well, we're
All
glad
right.
to have
Well, I'm
you
glad
back.
we're obviously very happy that
Although
that's all working
yeah.
out and that you were able to catch it early enough. And certainly, I work at a hospital. Not that really. I don't only play a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. But certainly go and get yourself checked out regularly. I think it's funny. I always laugh because we go to the dentist twice a year.
Yeah, your teeth
We only go to the
get
doctor
twice.
once a year at best. So,
Well, I see my GP every 3 to 6 months because of
well,
the
you do now.
No, even before, but we just
Really?
never suspected that there was
Well,
an issue.
you had some comorbidity too, so it probably didn't help.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
anyway.
diabetes for 30 years now, and the fact that my diet is not the best, although I'm improving it. I'm trying. But yeah, I'm glad to be here, man. It's definitely an eye opener.
Oh, good. All right. Well, we're glad you said we're glad, and we're glad you're back, and we'll of course look forward to seeing you again up in Thai. If not before that, but I mean, hey, welcome. So before we get into, we're doing Groundhog Day in case nobody didn't get to that part, but we are doing Groundhog Day since it was just this past Monday. Unfortunately, here, I guess in the States, we're getting our 6 more weeks of winter because he saw the shadow. Is that what it is?
He saw the shadow.
Apparently in Canada, their Canuck gopher didn't see
their beaver,
shadow, so I don't know how that works.
They have up there.
It's probably a beaver
up there. Yeah, it's probably a beaver, right? They just think it's a groundhog. Anyway, sorry, Canadians.
I got Timu Tranya.
Oh, there you go.
Timu Tranya.
Well, you can get the right glasses.
Yeah, we need to get you set up with Dave and get you some Tranya glasses.
Yeah, got to get some Tranya. Yeah. So, but so we have news, I assume.
We have news.
No news.
We have news. We do have news. Can I just mention that we've lost Catherine O'Hara? She was not a science fiction actress, but I loved her. I loved her in so many things. She died at home. She died in the hospital after a very short illness at age 71. Most people know her best for Home Alone, Schitt's Creek, and Beetlejuice. But did you guys ever see any of the mockumentaries by Eugene Levy and Christopher Guest, like Mighty Wind, Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman? Have you seen any of those?
Oh yeah.
They're so good.
Can't say I have.
They're so good.
And she's in
that's all. Those guys are all from Second City TV.
Second City's TV. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. She will be missed. Moving on. Netflix Stranger Things Tales from 85, the new animated Stranger Things show, has a trailer and a release date. The release date is April 23. Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2 has a trailer and a release date. The release date is February 27. This is the show with Kurt and Wyatt Russell. I did see Kurt in the trailer. I didn't catch Wyatt, but I don't know.
He must be in there.
In the trailer, I did see Godzilla. I saw King Kong, and then I saw this giant squiddy kraken thing attacking them. So I think there's gonna be a beatdown. I'm excited.
No, it was good. The first season was really good. I enjoyed it.
The first season was so good. Yeah. Fallout Season 3, the last episode of Season 2 just aired tonight. I've seen it, or yesterday night. I've seen it already. Season 3 is set to begin filming in summer 2026, and they want to be on the air, quote, as soon as we can. Good for you, Fallout. I hate 2-year, 3-year, 5-year waits.
Yeah, they're really they're really doing. I gotta say, I gotta hand it. Bethesda takes a lot of crap, we'll say, and some of it's deserved, but they are doing a really good job with Amazon to combine the game stuff with the TV show. I think they've done an excellent job. So, and I think they realize that the fans and it's been a huge boom for the Fallout game because it's brought so many players into like particularly 76 because it's the most current and active and it's online. And I mean, I play it daily and I keep saying tons of new low level players coming in onto the servers. And I know it's a lot of it's a direct result of people watching the show and wanting to get involved in the games.
Yep.
So good on them.
Yeah, good on them. All right, 3 more tidbits of news. Tidbit number 3, Beam Me Up Sulu. In 1985, Star Trek's George Takei joined a group of dedicated fans to make a student film that supposedly mysteriously disappeared, although they did find a bunch of it. They found it because it's in this documentary. Yet another Star Trek documentary. This is uncovers this lost film and celebrates the diversity and inclusion at the heart of the show. This documentary is trying to figure out what it is about Star Trek that makes people care so much, and what made these student filmmakers spend 35 years working on their film. I mean, they got something finished to turn in for a grade, and then they kept playing with it. And what made George participate in it? Guys, any thoughts on that? What could it possibly be? Knowing, since we've all 3 of us work at the Star Trek set tour.
Well, I mean,
I've seen small bits of it. It was a generation back from the first efforts of Star Trek New Voyages and Farragut.
Yes, they are older than us. Yes.
So the techniques were quite a bit different, although they had professional film equipment to start with. They borrowed it from the school to make the film. The production values are roughly equivalent to episode 0 of New Voyages.
Yes, they openly admit themselves. The filmmaker himself openly admits this is not such a good film.
No,
but not so good.
It broke a lot of ground, because I think that's where
convincing George to do it. Yeah.
Well, that too. But I think that's where Marshall and James Cawley and some of those other guys got the idea, was all the scuttlebutt that was roaming around about that movie.
You think that's where they got the idea?
Having spoken to James and what's his name, the director for the first couple of episodes, Marshall, and some of the other initial group, they were chasing that same idea. If we can get together a fan film, maybe we can get a star to.
Crazy that he then went on to do a whole bunch of them and now has the Star Trek set tour. That's insane.
Yep.
Anyway, that documentary, Beam Me Up Sulu, will be out on February 12th. Tidbit number 2, disappointment at NASA. Artemis 2 was supposed to launch this weekend. Unfortunately, during a wet dress rehearsal, they had a couple of issues. They had a hydrogen leak that they kind of got sorted. And then the closeout crew found a valve that was, quote, inadvertently vented. Not sure what that...
It's stuck open. It should have closed to isolate the Orion part of the system, and it didn't close when it was supposed to. So it was venting. As the rocket sits there and slowly warms up on the pad, the pressures rise in the tanks, and they have to bleed off some of that hydrogen and some of that oxygen to keep the pressures in range. And they were pressurizing the fuel and solved the first problem, but then Orion didn't lock out the way it was supposed to. So yeah, they put a pause on that.
I knew you'd know, Ken. I was like, ooh, this piece of news is going to be perfect for Ken tonight. Just a reminder for everyone listening, Artemis 2 is a historic lunar moon mission. It will send 4 astronauts into deep space for the first time since the Apollo program ended 5 decades ago. Their new target dates are March 6, March 7, March 8, March 9, and March 11.
Yep. Hopefully, when they pass around the far side of the moon, they will officially be the human beings that have traveled the furthest from Europe.
Away. Yeah, they're going out farther than Apollo 8 did.
And thank God they have this so-called wet dress rehearsal and do this and find these problems better.
This is how it works. I mean, many missions are always delayed.
Yeah, they always have
things, and it works out because I was trying to get my Lego Artemis 2
built before it launches.
The ship built, and I got the gantry. If you've seen that kit,
a
lot of work on the gantry. Just the platform of the gantry. The ship, the rocket itself is easy.
Yeah,
so
this is actually
done now.
This is actually a clear example of the difference between, say, SpaceX's way of doing things and NASA's way of doing things. SpaceX.
There's also a big difference between, high Earth orbit launcher and this. This is
but
we're going out. It's a big
Starship is intended to go to the moon. It just needs a refuel in Earth orbit, and then it goes.
They can't get it to not explode.
But that too. But I'm talking about the design philosophies. Artemis, they don't have a dozen of them or 20 of them. They have one at a time. If they get to Artemis 5, that's going to be a lot. That's billions and billions and billions of dollars. Starship will build one, launch it to see what happens, say, okay, this and this blew up, we got to fix those, and then they fix it for the next one and then try again. They literally are doing iterative testing versus designing it, simulating it to hell and gone, do wet dress rehearsals, find what's wrong, fix that, design around it. In the case of the first Artemis, the heat shield issue that they popped up with, they completely redesigned the heat shield and then make it as safe as humanly possible before they put people in it. Starship is going to go through 20 or 30 more launches before there's ever a human being in it.
Yeah, well, they gotta, like I said, they gotta make it.
They gotta make it work. Yep.
Maybe after the Artemis 2 mission, we can get Doc Alexander to come on and talk.
Yes, I would love.
He's really busy right now.
Yep, I believe he's on console for the launch too. So
yeah, he's a pretty busy guy right now.
Dave Harvey called him, and Doc was like, "I'm in the middle of a wet dress rehearsal."
Yeah.
I don't understand why people answer people answer the phone when they're busy. It's like, I'm busy. I don't answer the phone.
I know. I did that too. You sent me a message and I'm like, I'm taking a class right now. And you're like, you didn't have to answer me.
Exactly. If I send you a text message,
whatever it is, it'll wait. It'll wait.
All right. Finally, tonight, my number one news. If you contributed to Doug Drexler's Kickstarter for his movie Trek Star, they have begun to send out the Kickstarter perks and stuff, and so I've got mine. I got, of course, the baseball cap, but what I really got that I'm super excited about was a series, and I can kind of show them a series of the John Lithgow character from Buckaroo Banzai. This is a series of Doug's sketches to show different weapons and costuming and clothing, and whoops, let me show you this, and all kinds of different stuff. It kind of looks like John too. It looks like John Lithgow.
Yeah.
So I've got these. I'm super excited about them. I love them. I'm a huge Buckaroo Banzai fan. So
yeah, Mary Beth, you asked
stuff. It's coming soon.
She's what is it? Blue jacket, right? What do they call them? Blue jacket regular?
Blue blazer.
Blue blazer.
Regulars or irregulars.
Blazer or regulars. It just occurred to me that I won't get the DVD until after it's made. So my perk won't.
Oh, your perk won't come yet.
Yeah, it can't come yet because they haven't shot it yet. So
I did get this from that. This is a tap light from Star Trek Enterprise that was in one of the shuttle pods.
Nice.
So that was my
That's right up your alley, Rizzo.
Yeah, it was. That's exactly it. I'm a big Enterprise fan, so that's from Doug's personal collection. So that's my first actual screen used prop.
Nice.
Excellent. This is a gun that was designed, and it's a potato, and it's called Small Potatoes, and it also says taser tot or spud gun. Doug is an imaginative guy.
Okay, so that wraps up our show. No,
that's news. That's it for news. Rizzo, what are we drinking tonight?
Drinking, well, I mean, the only drink. This is very basic, but this is what, of course, she orders at the bar, which is really boring and. The sweet vermouth with a twist, but it is a real drink. It has another name, and it escapes me at the moment. What
from the looks of his face, Bill Murray did not enjoy this drink.
No, have you ever had vermouth straight? It's gross.
Not straight, no.
It's gross. It's sort of a wine-based liquor, so it has its purposes. It has purposes. It's good. It's good in a Negroni.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, it sounds like it's good mixed with other things, but
it's usually used as a mixture. People don't drink it straight, but
what did he order the
drink?
first
Just
time
vermouth on the rocks with a twist of lemon. That is it is not uncommon. Let's put it that way.
What did he order the first time before he memorized her order and also ordered it?
An old fashioned, maybe?
Bourbon?
No, it was something like in the martini range, I think, or something like that. It was something much more nothing too fancy, but nothing
that
like
stood out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember now. I just Monday. It was funny because Monday AMC ran the movie like back to back all day, so it was kind of on in the background all day.
Commercials were killing me. Like,
so
no, Bill, no peanut butter whiskey. Did you taste it? What does it taste like? Is it sweet, Bill? Is it sweet or is it just peanut?
I thought you got some.
Bill did. He got the peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, no, I thought you did.
Me?
Oh,
Bill got it. I don't know. I remember getting a message that somebody got it. Must have been Bill.
Yeah, it was Bill, and I was like really curious.
But it was pretty good. He thought it was good. So there you go. Wherever you go, there you are.
That's
true.
Is
eating your bones?
Yes.
All right. So Groundhog Day, 1993, Bill Murray. This movie was a huge hit. Of course, it's Harold Ramis directed it. It was based on a book or a real that actually in the book, the person, when you meet them, the Phil character, he's been already looping for a very long time on this Groundhog Day. But Harold Ramis was originally going to actually keep that, but ultimately changed it so that we just see it for the first time. So in the movie, though, they figure he looped for 10 years.
Yeah.
But we only actually see 38 days. Well, you figure because he learned the piano and he learned all these other things. You don't learn that even in 38 days.
The piano.
Yeah, so they figured somehow they came up with that he was looping.
Debate of how long did he loop for. Originally, they wanted him to loop for like 10,000 years, like a long time, like a really long time. I'm glad they cut it down.
I don't know how they would have portrayed that being at the same day over and over again. How would you really tell that it was 10,000 years?
Yeah, it'd be too many days of the same thing. No, they were right to cut it down. And 10 years or something. Yeah. No, he spent almost 34 years trapped in the loop.
Yeah, they purposely too avoided a darker twist to it where he would do like psychotic things and murders, and because he knew he could get away with it because it would just reset the next day.
He did try to unalive himself a couple times. So
yes, he did. Tried to kill himself many times, and then one of the funniest scenes is when he steals the groundhog and drives off the cliff, so to speak. That was just pretty funny. Actually, poor Bill got bit twice by that groundhog and had to get rabies shots. Now, I don't understand. How do you not know the gopher, or excuse me, I keep wanting to call it the groundhog, doesn't have rabies?
No, they probably don't, but it wasn't Phil. They literally trapped this animal a couple weeks before the movie started. It was a wild animal.
But they said the thing was, they said they had a whole family of them they raised for this.
Maybe they did, but this thing was when they call him Scooter, and he was freshly caught from the wilds of, and they filmed this outside of Chicago. I think they didn't film it.
So that must have been an abundance of over precaution, because I would have thought they would have tested the animal and said the animal does not have rabies, therefore you.
One would think, right? Just maybe call it.
Because let me tell you, I've never done it, but getting rabies isn't just getting a shot. It's not like getting a tetanus shot. It's a series of shots, intramuscular shots that are very painful for my.
Yeah, but isn't that a destructive test? If you test an animal, that animal dies.
I don't think so.
No.
Oh,
I don't believe it's a blood test.
You're thinking of the pregnancy test back in the 50s.
Yeah, that's the pregnancy. That's not a rabbit. The rabbit's undied.
The rabbit dies.
Who knows?
So anyway, so poor Bill, he got bit twice by the darn thing.
You're not wrong, Bill.
He was a bit neurotic, I think, when he made this, because he was going through the divorce. Apparently, he was bothering Harold so much about the script, constantly waking him up in the middle of the night, that I guess he finally pushed him off on somebody else, which caused a rift between Harold and Bill for many years, actually. After that,
so brilliant together.
Yeah. So, Bill's always been known to be a bit. I don't know what the right word is. A bit of a hothead, or he's very.
I think you guys can read this right on Wikipedia, but there is a story that when he was shooting the scene where he steps in that pothole and steps in the water, in between takes, they had to dry off his foot and dry out his clothes, and I guess he was swearing at people and stuff. So it does sound like he might have been a little on edge.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, he was very focused on the movie, and excuse me. but he was stressed, like I said, he was going through a divorce at the time. So, but Bill is, like I said, he is kind of known to be a bit of a difficult on the
which makes me so sad. The movie has such a lovely theme, such a lovely moral to it that makes me sad that he's like kind of grumpy and grouchy. And
well, it's funny because he gets according to Harold, he would like he'd try to give him direction on a scene, and all he goes, "Is this good Phil or bad Phil?" Basically, how am I playing this? And that's
how am I playing this?
So
where in the timeline are we? Good Phil or bad Phil?
Yeah. So they did have to do a lot of, because of the weather. They didn't actually film this in Puxatawny, by the way. They filmed it in Illinois, in a town not far from where Bill grew up, ironically. But because the weather was so unpredictable, they did do it in January. I think they filmed it. They would do they did all the Ned Ryerson scenes on that corner.
Yeah.
All the same day.
Yep.
Because they had to because of the weather. In fact, apparently that spot where he steps off in this town, there's a plaque. Bill Murray stepped here.
And they left it as a pothole. They never finished.
Yeah, I assume they filled the pothole in.
Bill Murray stepped here.
But Bill Murray stepped here. So
that's funny.
But yeah, so it was a really popular movie. I don't know. You got the numbers on it. You're always good with the numbers.
I do. I have the numbers. It was 80. Rolling back. It was a success. It was made for. I hate when they give me a budget range. Just give me a number. Don't you know how much? They say between 14 and 30 million. That's a pretty wide range. However, it raked in over 105 million at the box office. So that is in Hollywood terms, a bona fide success.
Yep.
And it is a success too. This is one of those cult classics. We all love this day. And it has created a whole, in our vernacular, when we say, oh, it's Groundhog Day, you know what you're talking about. You mean something that's looping and repeating.
Yep.
Yeah. It's actually in 2006, it went in the Preservation of National Film Registry at the Library of Congress. Good. So it is because it was considered culturally historic and aesthetically significant. Can't pronounce words today.
The writer Danny Rubin, you were right. It might have been based on a book, but he got the idea after reading Anne Rice's The Vampire Lestat, and he was like, "Well, what would it really mean to be immortal? What would it really mean to day in, day out, day in, day out?" And then clearly, what if you had Arrested Development, and so now you're stuck in your kind of mental adolescence kind of thing?
Well, think about it. The movie kind of does portray to me a pretty accurate. In a humorous way, but first of all, you'd be freaking out, right? Why is this happening to me? And then once you became almost resigned to it, you would start goofing about, like he did, screwing around with people, and and then I think ultimately you'd want to just kill yourself because you're just this, I can't take it anymore.
And then you find out that killing yourself doesn't work.
Doesn't work. So
thematically, and this is kind of a weird coinky dinky kind of thing. In my title, there's a movie called 1201. It is Groundhog Day, but a science fiction thriller aspect. And it came out in 1990, same year as Groundhog Day, but it came out as a TV movie. All right. Jeremy Piven's in it. Martin Landau's in it. Helen Slater's in it. It's in my opinion, and I'm going to catch hell from this because so few people have seen it, I think it's a better movie than Groundhog Day.
John Cates agrees it's a good flick.
Yeah.
What can you specify? Can you say why it was better?
I think it's got a much more sci-fi slant to it. There's a particle accelerator that fires and initiates the loop. And this sad sack guy who works for a tech company who doesn't know anything about tech has to figure out how to break the loop and save Helen Slater's life because she gets murdered by the bad actors over and over again. And he gets there and she gets killed. He sees it again. He says, "Oh, look out." And she gets killed. It's a continual loop of him trying to save Helen Slater. And at one point they hook up in one of the loops and they have relations. And then 2-3 loops later, he starts telling Helen all the things that she told him. And she goes, "Did you get lucky? talking about a prior loop. It's hilarious. But and it turns out, spoilers for a movie that was made 30 years ago, Martin Landau is the bad guy, and Martin Landau does a really good bad guy. It touches on all the same themes. Once you realize that you can't die, you're free to do whatever you want. He goes after the supervisor in his office who's always maligning him. He puts her in her place. He everything you ever wanted to ever do, if it had no consequences.
Yeah, we all fantasize about that.
Yeah, I mean that would be a natural. I mean, let's face it. This looping of time is a science fiction trope. I mean, every sci-fi series I think has done. Well, whether it was Star Trek, whether it was Farscape, whether it's Stargate SG-1, who had one of the best
was real good
ones of the time looping. They've all done it. It's kind of like I said, it's a trope of the looping day, whether it's a day or 20 minutes or whatever it is. So it's funny. This movie for some reason I think hit the masses because of its amount of humor, and then of course ultimately he tries to start bettering himself and using this time
because he betters himself.
Right, he betters himself, and ultimately you believe that that's why when they finally fall in love, that's when it breaks the loop.
It's because he changes as a person. It is interesting though that this movie deliberately did not have a cause. Like we don't know why he.
We don't know why, but here's my thing. This is where I think this movie is like. It's a lot like
Real life.
Christmas. What is the
Miracle
on 33rd Screws?
Why
can I?
Carol.
The Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol,
right?
Yeah.
It is. It's essentially, I think, it's a Christmas Carol without the ghosts. It's basically trying to, because he's kind of a creepy person. He's very self-centered. He's not very nice, and he basically, until he learns to be a better person and care about people and care about somebody else, and learn to appreciate life, so to speak, then he's allowed to continue on. That was my impression watching it. It's like, this is kind of like a Christmas Carol,
right?
In a lot of ways. So,
and it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I like it, but like I said, I feel that 1201 was better because it's a little harder edged sci-fi. But
you're entitled to your opinion, Ken, even if you're
absolutely
wrong.
Oh well.
Yeah, he lets me like Starfleet Academy.
I've never seen 1201, so I can't argue whether it's better.
I heartily recommend it. It's hard to find. My gray market service doesn't even have it, but I have the DVD now, so if you guys want to borrow it and watch it sometime, you let me know, because it's worth it. It's worth the investment of the hour and a half. Thematically, I was going to mention the Stargate episode. That's a classic. It's hilarious.
That's one of the better ones as far as the loop. That one. Was it Cause and Effect? Is the Star Trek Next Gen?
The Star Trek one, yeah.
Which is also a good one.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it had Kelsey Grammer in it,
at the very end,
at the very end, but yeah, I didn't like that episode very much, and I can't put my finger on why.
The Stargate one is better by far.
1000% better.
It's just, I think the way they did it, I think it's what's his name, MacGyver there, and I'm terrible with names here. I don't know why I have brain.
Richard
Dean Anderson.
You know who you mean.
Of course, it's just him and Teal'c.
Him and Teal'c are the only loopers.
They're the only two that are aware of it. So it's kind of funny because, of course, I think the funniest thing is right when the loop starts, Teal'c gets hit in the face.
Yep.
Or something. And so it's like every time he just, and it just made it really funny, And then I think one of the funnier scenes is they're playing golf into the Stargate. They're little just driving balls into the Stargate.
John and Bill and Chris are all mentioning great looping shows and movies and stuff. Yeah, and Quantum Leap. Yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of shows with time. Of course, looping time is a different. Yeah. I think Farscape had a time loop. They must have had a time. I think they did.
I believe they did. Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Like I said, I think it's a very common trope. To do it, it's almost almost like a cheat, because it's like, oh yeah, we'll do a time loop episode. Okay.
Well, and it's amazing to me because 1201 was written as a short story by this guy. It was called 1201 PM, but it's amazing that the Groundhog thing happened the same year. I mean, can you imagine working on a film crew and you get done and you get higher up with the next crew and it's another looping movie and you're like, didn't we just do this?
That's like an ongoing Hollywood thing. There's always competing studios making like Mars and the Red Planet, or A Bug's Life and
Ants.
Leviathan and the Abyss.
Leviathan and the Abyss. They're always doing that. We should do a show
and
on
Deep Star 6. Don't forget Deep Star 6.
Deep Star 6.
That came out around the same time, which was abysmally bad.
Yeah, but it had Peter Weller in it. It's better than
Leviathan had
Peter Weller
in it. Slightly better.
Did the Muppets do it? I don't think so, Bill. Did the
Muppets
ever time
do it? I don't think the Muppets have done a time, but they're rebooting the show.
They are rebooting the show. There is an episode coming out soon, and I guess if it's well liked, they'll reboot.
You should write in to Disney, because I believe they're the ones creating it, and tell them they need to do a time loop episode.
Right. The two guys in the Statler and Waldorf. I find myself.
Yeah, those are the only two that are aware that it's looping. That'd be
yes, right. But I find myself empathizing and sympathizing with them a lot more.
But isn't that basically the Muppet Show, where those two guys are just reliving that's why they're so cranky, because they're so tired.
But like I said, I find myself on their side of things a lot more now than I used to.
Because you're old and cranky, Ken.
Exactly.
Kind of torture.
We all are. We all are getting older and crankier.
Yep, I am Statler and Waldorf now.
But yeah, no, this movie is, like you said, it is a classic. So we can go through the. We always like to go through
the cast,
the cast, which of course Bill Murray is he's Bill Murray. Dude, what else do you say? Andie MacDowell, of course, she was very popular in the 90s. You don't see her around too much.
Yeah, she's around. She's
anymore.
She did the funerals and a wedding.
Yeah, she does stuff.
She's around. She's around.
She's married to somebody famous too, isn't she? I want to say no. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
She probably is, and I just don't know who it is at the moment. Where's the cast? Come here, cast.
I'm looking. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I must be
married to Tom Hanks.
Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson, or you thinking?
Maybe that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah. That's who I'm thinking of. Chris Elliott is Larry. Chris Elliott again was popular back in the 90s. He even had his own show, didn't he, for a while?
Yeah.
He really started out as a writer, I think.
Well, he was an SCTV guy too, right?
Yeah. Well, no, he was
that
like a stand-up comic or something.
I don't know that.
So pathetic when he's in the auction and nobody bids on him.
Yeah, 2 bits.
He can get a little obnoxious in his stuff. This is one of his tamer.
Some of his stuff isn't funny, and So, and then Steven, I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Tobolowsky. If he's been around, you guys, he's been in so many things. He's Ned Ryerson.
Yes, and he was in Sneakers.
He's been in tons of stuff.
He was in Sneakers, which we
Deadwood.
should do.
He was in. Yeah, he's constantly in something. He usually plays an annoying character.
Basic Instinct. He's around.
Yeah, he's the classic
character actors. That's just sort of.
He always plays somebody irritating.
Hackers.
He always plays an annoying person though.
Yeah, he always plays
incredibly stupid.
Right.
Yeah. And tons of TV too. He's still.
And of course, Brian Doyle Murray, who is Bill's brother.
Didn't Bill take this on the condition that Brian also got a role?
I don't know that. I wouldn't be surprised, but Brian was the kind of the master of ceremony. That's his character. He plays a character called Buster, who is the master of ceremonies.
I think he's the mayor of the town, though.
Is that what he's supposed to be?
I didn't think he was the mayor. I thought he just was like the head.
He's the one that chokes at the table.
Yeah, he does choke at the table.
He saves him with Heimlich maneuver. Yeah. He's the mayor of the town.
Of course, Brian. On SpongeBob. He's the voice of the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
He was also in Caddyshack. He was the head. He was the head of the caddy. So he goes back a while. Again, he works with his brother quite a bit. He's one of those people when you see him, you know him. He was the Bubble Boy's father in Seinfeld.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, and he's got a very distinct voice. He does a lot of voiceover stuff. So
Bill Sotak is saying, I think this takes place in the Matrix universe. Do you remember the Deja Vu cat Do I remember the deja vu?
I remember the cat was when he said when Neo says deja vu, and they all look and they're like the cat just walked past or something, and they said deja vu's
so this is the deja vu
change in the Matrix or something, and I don't know where's the black cat in this. I must have missed it.
Yeah, there's no black cat in this. There's just a groundhog. But it
no,
could be
he's
the black
talking about the deja vu being Bill Murray.
I think my theory is the groundhog was at the center of all of it.
Yeah, that could be. And Chris enthusiastically says yes, do Sneakers. But continuing with the cast,
I have to watch Sneakers. I wonder how well that holds up because that movie's pretty old now.
Just the
technology is probably like
Bill Jones, and they're all saying what they want, and they're like, "But it's the brass ring. Just try to go for it. I want world peace." This is the U.S. government. We're not in that. We don't do that kind of thing. Yeah. I want world peace.
Remember what was there was a movie that was out
and Mary
came out in the 90s. And it wasn't Kevin Costner. Was it Kevin Costner? He plays the naval officer, but he's really a spy. And you don't find that out till the very, very end. He's the one investigating this thing, and they have a picture of this alleged spy, and it's printing out. It's going to take days to print out because it's only printing this thing out at one line at a time. Which is so dated. Yeah, it was so dated by today's standard. Because at the end of the movie, it fills in, and it's him, and you're like, because you can only watch the movie once. I can't think of the name of the movie. I want to say it was either Kevin Costner or another guy that kind of looks like him. Mark Harmon.
I love George Carlin.
Oh, is that the one with Sean Connery?
No, I don't know if Sean Connery's in it.
There's a Mark Harmon Sean Connery movie though where he's a naval officer.
Maybe. Yeah, you're not thinking of Presidio.
Oh yeah, that was Presidio.
That's not it. No, that's not it. That's not it. Different movie.
Yep.
Anyway, the reason I brought it up is because I'm wondering if you're talking about movies like Sneakers, and it's like you'll probably watch it, and the technology has gone so far past that we'd be like, okay, this doesn't hold up anymore.
The gizmo that is the MacGuffin in Sneakers is still a valid doodad. It's an encryption breaker. So
it is an encryption, yeah.
That still applies today.
Like I'd have to rewatch it to see if I felt it.
I think that's still
for us to do it by any means.
Yeah,
Rizzo, I'm looking at some of his older movie. I'm back on Kevin Costner now, and I am.
It might be Mark Harmon.
You're talking about.
All right, let me go look. Well, you guys chat amongst yourselves.
Okay.
The internal combustion engine is neither internal nor combustion.
The rest of the people in this movie are notable people, like very, very familiar faces, even if you don't know their names. Although there is a quick cameo by Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon's gone on to have an amazing career. And a couple other folks that, like Rick Overton, Robin Duke, you know them, you just don't know you know them. You're like, oh yeah, I remember she was in everything. I remember him, he was in everything. The other thing that we were talking about that I was kind of laughing, we were and it just went right out of my head. Oh, the Groundhog Day. I said it's become part of our lexicon. The Rubin, when Danny Rubin wrote this, he just kind of looked at the calendar and picked what he thought was a fairly innocuous holiday, Groundhog Day, because he genuinely believed that most people weren't aware of Groundhog Day, and he figured so few people outside of Puxatawny even knew what this whole stupid thing with the groundhog was. And now look at it. We all know what Groundhog Day is. We all know about the hedgehog, the groundhog. Yeah, it's part of our culture now, which is absolutely insane.
Well, and like you said, the term Groundhog Day referring to a day that never ends and keeps looping. That's I use that routinely.
We all do.
It's like I said, it is, and that's why I think it's now in the library of or Sony or wherever they, because it has become very culturally significant.
Other countries certainly don't celebrate it.
No.
Well, no, it's definitely an American thing.
It's an American thing. We let a groundhog forecast our seasons. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's as accurate as the weather.
That explains a lot about this country.
Okay, so the movie I'm thinking of, actually, Gene Hack, I should rewatch this. Sean Young, Will Patton.
Oh, Sean
Young. It was No Way Out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, but again, I don't know if this was 1987. The technology is what, because you're like, oh, it's taking the whole movie for them to print out this picture of him. And it's like, okay, today it will take about a half a second.
I'm going to argue that Sneakers holds up. But if you would like to choose,
I'm not suggesting it isn't. I'm just saying because of its age, it may not.
If you want to do a bundle show where we look at a bunch of stuff from the 80s and go, and the question of the night is, did it hold up?
How about 80s hackers movies? And we could do hackers. We could do
hackers and or military
war games,
spy stuff.
Yeah.
Would you like to
war
play
games? Oh, war games. Yeah, we could do sneakers, hackers, war games.
How about global thermonuclear warfare?
How about a nice game of chess? No, I want to play
tic-tac-toe.
Global thermonuclear war.
Yeah, that would be a great one. I volunteer to be in that one.
Some of those didn't hold up back then. When they first came out, you're already like, this is stupid.
Well, I mean, we talked about we keep talking about doing war games because that was
we've talked about war games
popular in its day. It was a big movie. It was popular in its day. Firstly, probably put Matthew Broderick on the map to some degree.
And I think Ferris Bueller that was
before. Well, that's the only one that made him, but I think that was before Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, War Games was before Ferris Bueller.
We want war games, sneakers, hackers. And any other military kind of ones from the era? Not Hunt for Red October. That one holds up.
We've done it already anyway.
We've done it already, yeah.
That's the amazing thing about Hunt for Red October because it really shouldn't because the Soviet Union has been gone for almost 30, probably 30 years. And
you still have tension when those
and
two
it still works.
And then the Dallas like draws their fire and they're screaming, "Go Big D!
Way to go Big D!"
Well,
it was Paganini.
What about Crimson Tide? Or
that's the one I want to do. A compare and contrast. We could compare and contrast Crimson Tide and Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
Although Crimson,
Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington. Man, oh man, that holds up really well.
There's a bunch of movies. I mean, you could do if you want to do war flicks. I mean, but they're not really sci-fi. So I mean,
that's true.
But I mean, like
then we'd have to have war flicks on Distilled.
Yeah, it's kind of I mean, there's some great stuff that came out.
Every now and again we do comedy Distilled, so we may as well do.
Flight of the Intruder is an excellent movie, but no sci-fi at all. What's the one where Hackman is the general and he's down behind? It's a Vietnam movie.
Bat 21.
Bat 21, excellent movie.
Yep,
excellent movie.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you want to do that, we could do a whole series of.
We could do a whole bunch of them. Plan that for later in the spring so I can start watching now.
It's trying to catch up on our movies.
Yep. Yeah, but I'm definitely on board for hackers versus.
Well, yeah, I have to take a look at those again. Yeah, they're kind of sci-fi adjacent. I mean, I thought this for sure as a time loop definitely fits.
Sci-fi adjacent.
Right. I don't know if it's because again, we never learn in the movie
why it happens.
No.
But my theory is that it wasn't science. It was whatever supernatural in the sense that the universe wanted to teach him a lesson.
Yes.
Just like Ebenezer's Scrooge.
The studio kept asking, like an executive at Columbia kept asking, so why does his day repeat? Like, why does he get stuck? And they thought about putting in, and then you know what? They were like, and the movie is perfectly.
It doesn't need it.
Yeah, it doesn't need. You don't need to know why he's
don't need an explanation.
You know that he's improving.
Because it's not the point as to why.
It's not the point.
It's how he deals with it.
Yeah.
And his interactions with people, it's just hysterical. There was the scene like when he's eating all the food, and they're like, "Oh, we can give you a spit bucket, so you don't have to actually swallow this." He's like, "Nah." He ended up getting sick. So.
By the way, guys, my birds, Onyx and Rayla, are trying to join the conversation. So if you hear them squawking, they're objecting to.
Give us their opinion.
They can, they can give their opinion, but we're not interested.
Yeah, they are indeed giving their opinion as we speak.
Maybe they're just saying. Maybe they're telling you to stop.
No, they think 1201 is a better movie too. So.
Oh, okay. Well, since we can't speak bird, we have to just take your word for that.
Yes,
and somehow I find it a bit sus.
Yeah, well,
I find that a bit sus.
Fine. You're saying you don't trust me, Rizzo? That hurts. You've wounded me deeply
not
in
this particular incident. I do not. So I don't know what else can we say about this movie. I mean, it's such a good movie. So it's is kind of one of those movies where you can just put it on and watch it at any point. And just watch it.
I was going to explain.
Everybody's seen it.
Up until yesterday, I had not seen it all the way through.
Really?
No, it was on TV a couple of times, and I would catch like the middle to the end, or the middle third, or I never saw it all the way through.
I want to say I saw this in the theater, but I can't.
Yeah, any changes in your opinion, Kent, once you saw the whole thing all the way through?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was a standard 80s comedy, or 90s, 80s. It was a standard 80s comedy thing. 93, sorry, 90s comedy. And then I watched it all the way through yesterday, and yeah, thematically, I love it. He's a shit stain when he starts, pardon the PG-13, and he grows to be a guy who's worthy of being loved. And it's fun to watch that. I would have liked more once he realized that he couldn't die. Some more wildness, like him jumping off the top of a building. They showed that, but more of that, because once you realize that you're invulnerable and immortal, you're gonna experiment and do wacky stuff. I mean, right? At least I think I would.
Well, again, that they said that they had kind of toyed with doing it, but they didn't want to make it go really dark, where he started like massacring people or just like doing really dark things, knowing that he could get away with it. They purposely didn't want to. They wanted to keep the movie light. I think overdoing the suicide part might have been getting a little too much. We saw him jump off the building. What did he do? He stood in front of a bus. He drove the truck off the cliff with the goat.
He used his bathing toaster. He used his
did that. He threw the toaster. The typical, people throwing the toaster.
I think the moment in the movie that is the changing moment is when he starts helping the homeless guy, and the homeless guy dies anyway.
Keeps dying anyway. No matter what he does, the guy dies.
No matter what.
And the nurse in the hospital saying it's just his time.
That's the beginning.
He kept saying it was just his time. And yeah, for some reason that I think was a turning point. Certainly, it's when he started, and then he starts taking the piano lessons.
He almost had it right with Andie MacDowell. He almost had it right with her, but he couldn't quite get it. And then he finally realized, I can't force it. I just can't force it. It's going to have to just.
Yeah, that was the turning point.
Yeah, when he stopped. When he finally, of course, he wakes up, and even though they plays Sonny and Cher again, it's.
And then they argue like, "Don't play that again. That's a horrible song."
Yeah. So, but again, that song has become synonymous with this movie, with Groundhog Day.
Yep.
And that's part of that cultural, where they're saying significance, where there was a song that had nothing to do with Groundhog Day, or any kind of thing and here it became so such an important part of that movie, because that was how it always started, the trigger at the 6 o'clock. And I love those remember those old clocks you used to flip?
Yeah.
That was the original digital clock before they came up with LEDs or LCD screens. There's those little. I remember my dad had one, and you could hear it humming. And
then it
had a little motor that would run, and eventually those would flip. Those were cool.
So thematically, same idea. In 1201, the guy has an alarm clock that once the alarm goes off, it's a little robot, and it rolls backwards, so you can't hit the snooze.
Oh, that's brilliant. Supernatural did an episode like that too, that they were stuck in a loop, and every day the clock would go off and the song.
Yeah, there's been actual products where it's like a ball or something, and it goes off, and if you knock it off, it just gets louder.
Yeah,
like if you try to, it forces you to get up. It rolls away, so it forces you to get up and get it.
You get up and follow it. That's the idea behind this little robot thing, because he's perpetually late. And Jeremy Piven is a real shit in the movie. I like Jeremy Piven as an actor, but he plays a not good coworker.
He usually plays a kind of an ass.
Yeah. So
didn't he get Me Too'd? I hate this not to bring that.
I believe he did. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, unfortunately, I was a big fan. I love I loved Entourage. I thought he was great in that. But
yep, he was very good in that.
And a movie called PCU.
Yes, that's a great movie. Oh God, I love that movie.
It was a bad movie that turned out. It was kind of like one of those silly college movies that, like,
it was like
Animal
old
House.
School.
It's like old school where it turned out way better than it should have.
Right. Hey, they turned me on to George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelic.
That's true. Don't wear the shirt. You're wearing the shirt of the concert that you're going to. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. I am that guy every Iron Maiden concert, though, so guilty.
In fact, I think I've used that on you, Ken.
Yes, you have.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. Too late.
So, all right. Well, we're pretty much at the end of the hour. Start wrapping this up. Certainly a great movie. Great, time of year. We'll have to have that 6 weeks of winter. Of course, I don't know about the rest of you, but today wasn't too bad. I think it hit 28.
But this weekend
is supposed to be another frigid, what do they call it? Whatever ridiculous Arctic thing.
Another polar vortex.
I think this is Canada giving us a big FU to the States. So
yeah, I don't blame them.
Wait till we get Greenland.
This weekend, Roy.
Well, we're not. Don't do politics on here. Nope. No, not going on.
Try not to. Roy.
Anyway,
Roy is doing a special episode of Roy's Tie-Dye Sci-Fi Corner. He will be opening it up to all of you. Viewers can discuss their favorite television shows, or movies of the 60s, 70s.
Is he going to do this during the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's at 7 and the Super Bowl starts at 6:30. So if you're not watching the Super Bowl, go join Roy. And Phil says happy Groundhog's Day. He will be doing his regular Bill McNulty politics gig, and then he's going to do Captain Phil's Planet. That's tomorrow at noon, and then Captain Phil's Planet tomorrow at 4. And then he's filling in at 6 for a show called The Sounds of Film, and it's movie soundtracks, and he's going to rename it The Sounds of Phil. Just for the day, because he's filling in.
The hills are alive.
And then that's it for the week, because the rest of the week is that reggae marathon. So that's all Phil's got going on tomorrow. I don't know when Rizzo and I will be back on that show. Probably not for a while.
I don't know. We had a really good. The last week we were on last Friday. We did the whole Tiki thing, and
it was a good vibe.
It was a good vibe. It was a good show. I think it's too bad. I don't know how to get people to listen to it after the fact. I don't think it's available. Unfortunately,
it is actually.
It has archives
after the fact.
I don't know. Yeah, if they can find the archive, I'd love to post
it. Hang on.
It's right on the main website.
Yeah.
You do. I know the recording Phil sent me. You have to jump in 13 minutes before you actually get to us. I don't know why he doesn't trim that out, but
yeah, he always
13 minutes of somebody else's show at the beginning before it gets to us. So just jump ahead 13 minutes.
If you go to WUSB.FM and go to the schedule, is it the playlist page? One of those pages has the archives, and you can go back and listen to all of Rizzo's well-chosen Tiki songs.
And if you want Mary Beth's
and my silent
fight.
Rant.
What's the word I'm looking for your type of
Rant.
music? It was rant. No, it's not right. It was like I don't know. Fight the power sort of thing.
Oh,
what day were we on? January 30. Yeah, if you go on the schedule, click Friday Night Freeform on the schedule, and then it comes up all the days, and it has the playlist, so you can hear all those and you can listen to it. Down and at the bottom it says download the playlist, view program. So you can, there's little speaker symbols, that means listen. So
yep,
cool.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, we had fun. I'm sure we'll be on again. According to Phil, we will
someday.
He wants us back. I think what I'll do is next time I'm going to do movie soundtracks.
Chris is
I think you wanted to do TV soundtracks, so that might be.
Yes, I would love to do TV soundtracks. You do movie soundtracks. I think that would be a great pairing.
Speaking of soundtracks, at the beginning of Groundhog Day, there's a song about TV weathermen. It's playing over the opening credits. I never heard it since, but it is a real like pop song about weathermen.
Wow.
And how they're always wrong.
It's not WKRP in Cincinnati song?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It's surprising because
it's not the weathermen, it's raining men.
Nope, it's not that one either. Good call though. When I was watching it in the opening credits, I said, this is an interesting song. And sure enough, it's about weathermen.
Well, there you go. All right. On that note, I don't know what we're doing next week as usual. We'll figure it out.
So last word, acquire it however you acquire it, but 1201 is definitely worth watching.
Okay. We'll take your word for it.
All right. On that note, we'll say good night, live long and prosper, and as always, may the force be with you. Good night, folks.